Rashad, why you
Anyway,
didn't hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.
I want to get this on the record. What's up, everybody? My name is Rashad Milligan. If you are new to the channel, this is the road to 10K subs. I don't think Anicia and Forbats got married. I was hesitant to even discuss it. And then I brought it up yesterday and I read Forbats' caption on Instagram. And I was like, you know what? If they fell in love quickly, let them fall in love quickly. And they could very well be in love. But I don't think they're actually married. I think it is a music video. Because the caption was Mr. and Mrs. Bats. He said, I just got married. He posted the pictures. I'm still a little like, because it's like, Caribou wasn't there, but Caribou is mad busy. And they could have just did like a thing where they plan it and they do it the next day. I don't know. Kind of like a half impromptu, half actual wedding type deal. I don't think they actually got married, bro. Forbats' album comes out on Friday, and in this long caption, he's like, baby, this album is for you. You know what I'm saying? Seems a bit sus, right? Seems a bit sus. I don't know if that's her actual wedding. Just my piece on it. But welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. Let's get into the live, the stories, the drives, the bories, and the allegories for sure. Okay. First things first, Black unemployment is the highest it's been since the pandemic. First of all, you know, I got to shout out my guy, Phil Lewis, my brother, friend of the channel and things of that sort. Shout out Phil Lewis as always. This is from Yahoo Finance. Okay. The Black unemployment rate is at the highest that it's been since 2021. Here's why that's a bad sign for the economy. The unemployment rate for Black Americans hit 7.5% in August, which some economist says is a canary in the coal mine. This is written by Emma Ackerman, and here we go. Unemployment for Black Americans is at its worst level since the pandemic, with some economists seeing the latest results as a sign of worse things to come for the U.S. economy. The unemployment rate for Black Americans hit 7.5% in August, according to seasonally adjusted data released Friday by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Its highest since October 2021. More than double the rate was seen of that for white workers. Some possible reasons include federal job cuts and tariff-fueled economic uncertainty. Meanwhile, the unemployment rate for Black men at 7.1% was slightly higher than the 6.7% unemployment rate for Black women in August, though Black women have seen bigger employment losses since the first quarter of the year. Black teens of both sexes, ages 16 through 19, had an unemployment rate of 24.8%. It's not a great thing for the country's economic well-being, quote unquote. What we typically find is that unemployment rates that you see for for Blacks, particularly Black males, are a telltale sign of the direction of the economy and what we expect to see hit overall in the next few months, said Gary Hoover, economics at Tulane University. Banga Aguilar, chief economist of the left-leaning Center on Budget and Policy Priorities, similarly sees Black unemployment as a quote-unquote canary in a gold mine. He added, quote-unquote, if it's steadily starting to pick up, that portends that the economy might be headed toward a downturn. Tough market. The country's border unemployment rate had been hovering around 4% and 4.2% since May 2024, only to crack out of that narrow band and hit 4.3% in August, bruising job reports, which showed the U.S. economy added 22,000 jobs that month. That was far below 75,000 positions economists had anticipated. Yikes. Revised numbers also showed that the economy shed 13,000 jobs in June, the first net loss since 2020. Downward revisions to jobs number included the July's job report, which showed fewer than expected monthly gains, led President Trump to fire his former BLS commissioner, Erika McEnteffer. Other signals of a tough labor market around: the unemployment rate for workers above the age of 25 with a bachelor's degree, for instance, also is at its highest since the pandemic, And there were more jobless Americans than available positions in July for the first time since April 2021. Since Black workers are often seen as quote unquote last hired, first fired, tight labor conditions may impact them in particular, Agilor said. Some of the job losses for Black workers can also be explained by the sector specific trends. For example, Black workers made up nearly 19% of the federal workforce, which has been significantly reduced since President Trump took office. Get a government job, it's got good benefits. If you know, you know. The federal government is down 97,000 jobs since January, according to the Labor Department. Additionally, more than a quarter of Black men work in logistics, described as quote unquote production, transportation, and material movement occupations by the Bureau of Labor Statistics. In 2024, noted Joseph Dean, a research economist at the National Community Reinvestment Coalition, a nonprofit group, with 18.9% being in transit specifically. The unemployment rate for transportation workers has ticked slightly higher in recent months, though payrolls for transit and warehousing have also increased in the past year. Tariffs may be having an impact on Black unemployment, especially since manufacturing jobs are also being hit as hard. Across the board, you're seeing industries that employ large amounts of Black people either stagnant or in decline. Dean said, history repeats. Black workers have historically faced higher unemployment rates than other racial groups due to structural inequities in the labor market. Their unemployment rates rose past 16% in 2010. Gosh, Lee, in the aftermath of the Great Recession, and took years to recover to a record low 5.3% in 2019. Black unemployment surged yet again during the pandemic before dropping to a record low 4.8% in April 2023. Even when Black unemployment rate was at its best, it was still nearly twice as whites, Hoover said. But the recovery from the pandemic was uniquely fast. Valerie Wilson, a labor economist and director of the program on race, ethnicity, and economy at the left-leaning Economic Policy Institute, said. There was also a robust policy response at the time to address Americans who were struggling and out of work. This time, the circumstances feel more uncertain, quote unquote. It's difficult to predict whether we can recover quickly, Wilson said. That will depend on how Congress moves to counteract the recession. All right. Emma Ackerman is a reporter covering the economy and labor for Yahoo Finance. You can reach her at emmaackerman@yahoo.com. Okay. This is a lot, man, because as they said, they're taking away a lot of government jobs. And as you know, like if you're, a lot of Black people get government jobs and they're told to get government jobs growing up because of the benefits. It's like, get a good government job because the pay is nice and the benefits are amazing. They're sensational. Another thing, labor, a lot of, get a trade, do this, do that, kind of work in a warehouse, get a warehouse job. That's also a popular thing. I'm not sure if just for Black people, but I think for like a lot of people, especially men and stuff like that, are those, warehouse jobs and things of that sort. I think with the AI, with these robots, these little machines moving stuff around the warehouse and just delivering things on trucks, and now having self-driving vehicles like the little self-driving Uber and stuff like that. Like it's just so like self-driving delivery from Chick-fil-A and robots, you see them around cities and stuff. It's so weird, bro. And as you know, I'm 100% against AI robots and stuff like that because people need jobs, bro. At the end of the day, people need jobs, dude. And I know that we've had like crazy technology advancement in the past, and we continue to have it, and we've always found a way to kind of bounce back from it. However, it gets to a point, dude. Like it gets to a point, dude, and humans need work, bro. Like humans just honestly need work. I remember like they said that record low mark in 2023. I remember because the Biden-Harris administration was like making a big deal of it. Like Black unemployment's been at an all-time low. It's been at an all-time low. And it was something that they were talking about a lot. Now with the elimination of all these jobs to kind of rearrange and save the salary cap for the United States of America, you're like Donald, he's kind of running the country like a sports franchise, the salary cap, you got to cut the cap. So let's get rid of this big contract and move it over to the Brooklyn Nets. They'll absorb anything at Brooklyn. What I'm saying? That's kind of he's moving the country, and it's like these are real people. And if you don't have other jobs, if other jobs haven't been created in place of that, then you're just getting rid of, trying to cut down on American debt that kind of seems inescapable in my opinion. but you're trying to cut down on American debt for the sake of just cutting down on American debt. But like the people are starving. The prices are higher than ever, and the jobs and the pay is lower than ever. So how does that work out? How does that balance? I don't know. I do not know. So in terms of that being a bad sign for the economy, the economist from Tulane University, he was the one that said, like, we usually look at the younger black, particularly black men demographic, to see where the economy's going next, because it all kind of starts with them and stuff like that, with the more hands-on jobs and things of that sort. I thought that was very interesting. I never heard that before. And the other person, I'm glad that they acknowledged that the organization was left-leaning, so you kind of know what was going on and stuff like that. So it's not just this is the thing. So you kind of take the news with a grain of salt. However, it still is something that you need to pay attention to, and everybody needs to pay attention to, because AI and robots, bro, is everywhere, dude. Like I know y'all see it, and I know you know, you go to the grocery store, you don't even talk to people anymore. Like you go to the fast food restaurants and they got kiosks there. You don't even order up front. You got to put in the order yourself on the little machine and then wait for them to come out, and they give it to you sometimes it spits it out through the machine. Like that stuff is weird, bro, but like that's just the reality of the situation now. Walmart doesn't have any, like, they just have all their workers just stand around and restock. Like that's all they do. They restock. They're either a greeter at the door or they're just standing around if you have any trouble with your self-checkout, and or trying to make sure you don't steal at self-checkout. It's just, the jobs are cutting down more and more, bro. Like, y'all know, some of y'all might not know, but I work in media, and a lot of media places are getting cut down because people trying to, like, kind of lean a little more AI in that field and stuff like that. Like it's an ugly thing. Like graphic designers and photographers, you know, AI is trying to replace them. AI is trying to replace things. Who was it? I think it was maybe Essence. It might not have been Essence. It might have been Ebony that had an AI reporter give the news. It was a news report. And hold on, let me see if I could find this. Ebony AI reporter. Because someone was like, I know this isn't AI. And I wish I would have seen it, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let me see. Who was the securing the world of
Technology has become
I don't even know what this is. Oh, this is a panel. Was it Ebony? 10 black AI influencers to watch out for. Well, I don't want to look out for some AI influencers, bro. Like, come on, bro. This got to be a joke. This got to be like done in jest. But yeah, it was a whole thing. I mean, I ain't about to follow no man. When they got the little AI things, bro, them little jokes and stuff like that. Y'all ever seen the ones with the babies? They got the ones with the babies, bro. And it just be so goofy to me, dog. Like, I don't care about no babies talking like no adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what's getting rid of people's jobs, bro. Is for you to see a baby say, "Oh, I don't want to work a job." Man, nah, bro. We ain't doing that, dude. Who was the AI reporter, bro? AI morning news reporter. Morning news reporter. Is this news reporter is AI generated? Should we be worried?
Get even. Adam Mossam is a Canadian.
Welcome to Channel 1.
Oh, this the AI reporter?
This man has the video intelligence.
A new way of consuming, reporting, and thinking about the news, powered by artificial intelligence.
Oh, that's crazy. Oh, heck no, bro. Heck no. Hold on. Let me get the camera right. In the meantime. That's crazy, bro. Nah, see, I ain't doing that, dude. I ain't going for that, bro. I'm gonna move on to the next thing in the meantime as this comes back up. Another thing, I started off with saying I don't think Anicia and Forbats is an actual. Oh, hold on. Let me get the camera right. It's all the way over here. I don't think Anicia and Forbats actually got married. Another thing, Cash Cobain said that he just talked to Jay-Z on the phone, and Jay-Z was like, I don't have an album coming out. So there's that as well. For those of you who were looking at like, did Cash Cobain just break the news that a new Jay-Z album was coming out? And it went viral and stuff like that. And it was with Eddie Will. And I was like, I find that difficult to believe that Jay-Z's announcing his next album and the album rollout starting with Cash Cobain announcement on the podcast next is Eddie Will. There's that. Okay, next thing next. Your humbling 30s. This is something I was like, your 30s are gonna humble you when you least suspect it. And I saw somebody else say that your 30s don't determine like your shape or whatever, your condition. Exercise and eat healthy. Don't stop drinking. And take care of your body take care of you. That's further from the truth. Yeah, okay, lady. So here's the thing with Bad Bunny. Bad Bunny's hopping around in the Puerto Rico concert, and and he started limping. And Bad Bunny's limping, and he's limping to the back, man. And he's doing that little bunny hop around and stuff like that he been doing his whole career on stage, and then he died. Let me tell you something, man. I turned 30 about, how long ago was that? I turned 30 8 months ago at this point. Yeah, 8 months ago, I turned 30. One time, I was taking a nap on the couch, and the TV was on. I was facing this way on the couch. My remote was right here. I did like this to reach for the remote to turn off the TV and, go to sleep. As I did that, my socket said, I said, it stung. Bro, I had a fractured shoulder from trying to take a nap and turning off the TV. That's just something that I'm like, that's never happened to me before. I have like a gray, like kind of hair on my arm, on one of my arms somewhere. And then another thing is I literally had because I'm live every day, I had like the big old thing of ice. It was the night of the ESPYs. I had a big old thing of ice on my shoulder and stuff like that. It was crazy, bro. That was one thing. Another thing, like right now, I kind of have just a random kind of cramp in my leg or whatever that I've been having. I've been drinking water, of course, and stretching. Like I walk a lot. Like I have to walk. I didn't even bring my car down here to where I just moved in January and stuff like that because I wanted to force myself to walk, because like I have to walk just to like even kind of look close to how I, how I always look and how I've always looked, of like a pretty in shape, what I'm saying, kind of fit person and things of that sort. I have to walk everywhere. So I have to walk way more than I walked before. I have to exercise and work out more in general than I had to before, just to maintain how I even just look. Not to look better, but to maintain how I look, I have to work out more. And I have to watch my diet. Like I fast. I've been fasting. I only eat between 12 p.m. and 8 p.m. These are all things that I had to do differently because I turned 30, bro. And so I tell you from personal experience, yes, it is different with 30. It's physics. It's anatomy, bro. Like everybody's body does it, regardless of how good shape you are in, how well your diet is and stuff like that. Your body changes as you age. It just is what it is. So shouts out to Bad Bunny. I hope he's feeling better and stuff like that. And use this as a lesson, bro. Like it happens to everybody, dog. It happens to everybody. It ain't no, oh, I'm above it because I eat watermelon with the thing. Like I seen this dude, he was like, yeah, ever since I turned to a plant-based. Man, look, I've been vegetarian plant-based for about 6 years now, dude. You still like aging is something that happens. It might not happen as harshly as other people with terrible diets, but it still happens. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. Okay, let's talk about this Angel Reese thing. All right, the thing everybody's waiting for. Angel Reese. Okay, Angel Reese. She didn't play last night for the second straight game due to her back injury. That's what she reported. That's what she wanted out. This comes, of course, after her 1.5 game suspension from the one game of the technical foul, and then the half a game for going out to the media and saying, this team sucks, give me a new team. These players, namely Rachel Banham, Courtney Vandersloot, And essentially what she did was like, are not good enough. We need to replace them. Haley Van Lith, we need to replace them with some guards that's like an all-star level, a star level guard, someone like a Skylar Diggins to come here and elevate our play to the next level. And we need a young guard. We need a young all-star guard, someone like a Paige Becker's level. Maybe that's AZ Fudd. Maybe that's, I don't know who it is, but we need something like that to come help us out, because this one right here, it ain't it. And what they had the worst record in the league right now. Let me see. WNBA standings. Hold on, give me a second, y'all. Where are they at right now? They have the worst record. They have the worst record in the league. We have the worst record in the league. We might not even win double digit. We might not even win double digit games this year. This is terrible. This ain't working. We need to figure it out. And y'all need to da-da-da-da. They said, okay, you want to call us out publicly? We're going to sit you down publicly. Sit your behind down for our first half. So she say, okay, she come out all dolled up. I ain't never seen Angel this dolled up for a basketball game in my life. She in the, layup line. She got a little back brace around her. She apparently told the team right before the game, I can't go. I got a back injury. So they say, okay, second game in Vegas. I think they have one more game left in the regular season. Angel Reese say, I can't go. My back injury. You know what? I have a prediction. For the last game of the regular season, spoiler alert, Angel Reese might just tell the Chicago Sky, I can't go. Y'all are so smart. Y'all so intelligent. You know what I mean? And I think that's Angel, just her team. I don't know who it is that told her to shut it down, but they're like, yo, we just going to shut it down. It's at home, though. So Angel might play for the sake of a last hurrah to the city of Chicago, a thank you note to the fans. I didn't want to have to leave y'all like this. This is sloppy business. The organization just can't get it right, just like how they couldn't get it right with Sylvia Fowles, just like how they couldn't get it right with Elena Deldon, just like how they couldn't get it right with Candace Parker, just like how they couldn't get it right with Kyle Copper, just like how they couldn't get it right with Gabby Williams, just like how they couldn't get it right with, you know what I'm saying, Candace Dupree, just like how they couldn't get it right with with Cappy Pondexter, just like how they couldn't get it right. You know, this is ridiculous. That's ridiculous that I just did that off top. Just like how they couldn't get it right with Cheyenne Parker. It's ridiculous. But yes, anyways, shout out to Chicago State of Mind Sports. They've been doing a sensational job of covering all this Angel Reese stuff and just behind the scenes and media availabilities on their YouTube channel. All this stuff on Twitter each and every single day. They've been doing a sensational job of all of this. They got this at practice when Haley Van Lith got the birthday celebration. And look at Angel. Angel Reese ain't even smiling. She ain't even laugh. She with the staff looking like this is so stupid. So that was the first one. Chicago Sky posted this, and then the video that they posted, they pretty much did all the different angles to get every member of the team, doing the little slap or whatever, the hiney for Haley Van Lith's birthday, except for Angel Reese. They did everything they could to edit out Angel Reese, bro. So that's the first thing. They didn't post Angel Reese on the game promos, everything like that. So people like, usually if you stop getting posted on the game flyers, what that mean? You ain't gonna be on the team much longer. They don't expect you to be on the team that much longer. The social media group, the social media team, they might have got orders from the top down talking about some you know what I mean? Talking about, hey, don't post her. Don't post her right now. Let it lay low. You know what I'm saying? Woo. This is Tyler Marsh speaking before the game. This was posted by, hold on, let me give them their props. CC Esquire. Oh, Windsor of Windsor. Shouts out to Windsor. Shouts out to CC Esquire and Seaway's World, in CC's Way. All right. And with that being said, this is Tyler Marsh speaking about Angel Reese before the game.
I'm just ready to roll.
Just the mental health aspect, how have you, like, as the coach and the leader of this team, kind of managed the mental health of not only Angel, especially after such a public statement? I'm sure could have been quite damaging for her and just the team as well. How have you kind of been able to manage that?
Yeah, I think that I think first it starts with letting them know what my availability and access is to them in terms of any type of support that they need. I don't ever want to just assume that I'm doing and saying the things necessary to provide the support that they're needed in in moments like this. And that's been the case throughout the season. I think that I've tried to be as communicative as possible with our team, of knowing just how I can be there for them and having that open line of communication. And then again, I think in terms of just myself, it's just approaching every day with the same level of consistency and effort and enthusiasm so that they know that I'm still here and connected with them as well.
And are you kind of using this game kind of to just experiment with lineups, or are you really going out there really to attack and possibly upset the aces in this winning streak? How are you looking at this matchup?
Yeah, I think it's a combination of both. I think that we wanted to get a look at what our multiple ball handler lineup would look like with Ariel being out, and so that's why we put 7 in the lineup last time. I think we'll look to see something different tonight. Just again, giving different looks and seeing what works, and for us, with 2 games left, we have opportunity to continue to experiment and see what we can kind of throw at that gives a different look to Vegas and come out with a win.
I want to get your thoughts.
Okay, all right. So the first question from Miss CC, and shout out to Miss CC Esquire over there at Windsor. It was I want to make myself available and make sure the players know, instead of just assuming that they know that they're safe to come to me and things of that sort. This was something that he says after the entire situation of Angel, where he said he wasn't aware that Angel felt specifically how she felt when he read the report came out. Like when he read the quotes and statements and stuff like that from Angel Reese, he was like, oh, I didn't know that's what was going on and things of that sort. Like, she never communicated that with me. First time I saw it was the first time everybody else saw it in the article. So now he's going back and saying, yeah, I'm just doing a better job. I'm making sure. It's the end of the season, dude. It's the end of the season, dude. But he is a first-year head coach. These are just some of the growing pains that you go through. But, like, Chicago has to do better, bro. Because you can blame it on the front office, but stuff like that is stuff that the head coach can control. That's something that Tyler Marsh can control. And, you root for black coaches, everything like that, get their opportunity. Tanisha Wright's on staff and stuff like that. Shout out T-Dub. But it's like, dang, bro, like, you just now got to the end of this first season. Like, yeah, maybe I should communicate a little more and let the players know, like, hey, how you feeling? Especially your franchise player. Your franchise player, you should be every single day. Hey, how you feeling? Oh, you feeling good? Or, how you feeling about the team? Man, hey, tough stretch. Keep your head up, everything like that. How you feeling about the thing? Where can we improve? How can we do better? How can we better accommodate you and make this a more enjoyable experience for you? Camila. So someone said, who is Camila? Camila and Angel need to be the top 2 people that you constantly communicate with on this franchise. If you're the head coach, the general manager, the owner, the team president, whatever the case might be, because those are your faces of the franchise. Those are the cornerstones of the franchise. They need to be priority numero uno. So the fact that you guys didn't know that Angel felt this way until she brought it publicly to the media, and then the fact that you say, okay, yeah, I learned that maybe I need to be a little more proactive in me reaching out first and letting them know that it is a safe space to share with me. It's kind of crazy with 2 games left. The last week of the season and stuff like that, especially as the worst team in the league. I don't know. It's just something I thought of. This Angel Reese thing, it reminded me of this situation. If you know, hold on. Let me pull it up. It reminded me of this situation. When you're ready to get out of there, you're ready to get out of there, When you're ready to get out of there, you're ready to get out of there. Ben Simmons showed up one training camp, practice in some sweatpants, and he had his phone in his pocket, the phone halfway out the pocket. He barely giving effort. Doc Rivers said, all right, bro, go home, bro. Go home, bro. If this you about to play with us like this, go home, bro. And what they did, they eventually traded him to Brooklyn and everything like that. And you guys know the rest of the story, where it's like he might be retired. I don't know what's going on with Ben Simmons. He doesn't know. His agent left him, and he said his agent didn't leave him because he thought he was retiring. His agent left him because he only had one offer this offseason, and that was with the New York Knicks, and he declined it. What the heck is going on with Ben Simmons? I don't know. Does he want to still play basketball? That is yet to be determined. And we've asked that question ever since he went to Brooklyn, ever since really the Trae Young, where, he passes the ball under the basket against Trae Young in Game 7 of round 2 in the Eastern Conference playoffs. What was that, 2022? 2021, whenever that was, right? We've been asking that. Does he really want to play basketball? And now we're looking Angel Reese doing a lot of that movement and a lot of those, kind of she moving a way that a player that is ready to be traded is moving. So it's just something to keep an eye out on. It's obviously, we're probably about to head into a lockout. So at the time where the Sky can actually make and facilitate a trade for Angel Reese to get her to the next place, whether it's Portland, whether it's Golden State, whether it's Dallas, whether it's Atlanta, regardless of wherever her next stop is, right? You still got to deal with the lockout rules, bro. Like, if a lockout happened, she can't get traded nowhere. She'd be part of the Chicago Sky, and the WNBA would be locked out. Okay. Hold on. Let me pull this up. What's the next link? It's with the Sky. Oh, yeah. Here it is. The Sky report. She's out with the back. Okay, there it is. Okay, and then the next thing was Angel just vibing at the game. So y'all see the team over here, assistant coaches. Here's Angel over there by the side. And there's Angel laughing with one of the staff members, having a grandiose time on the bench. You see the players kind of like fake locked in. They don't care. It's the end of the season. These games don't matter. Camilla just getting in some nice cardio. So is Anya Murray. Rachel Banham is she trying to act like she don't see Angel Reese having the time of her life to the side. Like what is this? What is going on in Chicago, brother? What is going on in Chicago, brother? Let me see. This video is a minute 13. What else is there to see in this video? She just smiling and laughing. She does seem sad though. She doesn't seem sad. I don't know if it's something that she just flickered on to show the fans like I'm unbothered, but she don't seem sad at all. She's definitely disassociating. You see her talking to like, just look like a member of the Sky PR, and then she going over so she don't get fined. Tanisha Wright looking like, all right, keep playing with me. Shout out to Courtney Parrish as well. All right, and then next thing next. Love this in you, Angel. Oh yeah. So then right here, she's showing that she does care, and she's coaching up Maddie. Shout out to Bell, things of that sort. She's coaching her and like, you gotta do this. You gotta grab the ball. You gotta box out and place yourself in a position. Salute to her for that. She's showing she still cares at the end of the day. So it was kind of like she showed two different sides. Here it is, signing all the fan stuff and everything. And you know what I'm saying? Like it's just two sides. It looked like in the pregame or whatever, when they did the little shoot around celebration. Oh, that's fire. She took the selfies with the fans. That's fire. That's fine. Now he should have came down a couple more rows to get that selfie. That's funny. But they got on their stuff and everything like that. But it looked like she was over it. At the game, come game time, she put on her happy face. She put on her work face. You ever feel like, I ain't trying to go to work. I ain't trying to do all this. It came to work. She put on her happy face. It was what it was. All right, let me see. So this is more information about the Chicago Sky practice facility that was supposed to be underway. She said, essentially in the story, she was like, I'll believe it when I see it. She's kind of just becoming a bit impatient with the franchise. That's the entire point of the story. So she threw kind of front office a little bit under the bus, her teammates under the bus, just everybody, just like we all need to do better, which isn't a bad thing to say. But I think the point is like she said that to the media first before she told them. And at first people are like, oh man, her little comments got y'all going, right? No, them jokers been losing just like how they've been losing all year. All right, anyways, here's a breakdown about the city, apparently, or the Sky trying to get the city to pay for their new practice facility.
No, you're absolutely right.
Hold on. And this is, what's her name? Is this who posted it? Jaguar Jackson? Shout out to Jaguar Jackson, I believe, or whoever posted this on TikTok.
Right. So I probably shouldn't tell you that even though the mayor knows that the Chicago Sky haven't paid them at all, he still never initiated any actions against them for breach of contract. Money was due January of 2025 and it didn't come. When I got a hold of these meeting records for May of 2025, he then admits that the Sky never paid them And then he goes and commits to a $7 million subsidy, meaning the Sky made changes that ran up the cost of the construction and increased it by $18 million. Knowing that the Sky still hadn't paid him any money at all, the Sky came and asked the city to cover some of the costs. They gave a number. He wouldn't disclose the number because the attorney told him not to. I'll do it for you. I'm trying to understand how this man is still mayor of this city when he knows that time and time again, the Sky have failed to make the most simplest of a $1.5 million escrow deposit. He doesn't immediately initiate a breach. He actually is frustrated because the Sky have been going without anyone from the Village of Bedford Park to the construction company and having conversations and meetings. They've kept the Village completely out of the loop. The Village is trying to salvage their relationship with their own friendly construction company that they use to build phase 1, the building next door. So I just don't understand why this mayor in his right mind would know that the Chicago Sky hasn't paid. We know that in December 12th meeting of 2024, the Village attorney sat up there and said the Sky are having trouble getting the loan, which means they know the Sky doesn't have the money, or they're doing everything they can to not come up off the money. But honestly, these records to me read as though the Sky do not have the money for the facility.
Oh my goodness. And
so what they've been using is a delay tactic of, yeah, we want to do it. They go and they enter into an agreement. They don't put any money in. The city doesn't check them for it. So they keep going. They go to the construction company. They go to all the meetings. They start putting in changes to the plans. They say, this is what we want. It's an extra $18 million. Then they come and they ask the city to cover it all. In the May 5th record, the mayor is on record saying that Michael Alter and him had a conversation. And he said that Michael tried to tell him that they could have built this facility in Chicago, and that they really need, some more concessions and this, that, and the other. The mayor says, you're not going to get a better deal than this. And he's true. He's right. He's correct. He's telling the truth. Nobody else is dumb enough to keep giving the Sky money and risking, 1, your job, 2, jail time. There is nothing about the operating agreement that the Village of Bedford Park entered into with the Chicago Sky that meets Illinois standards for the public purpose doctrine. Furthermore, in the May 5th record, he goes on to express his frustration with the oversight company Concord, and he immediately puts together a special committee so that they can go discuss whether or not they can find Concord in breach of contract. So you're acknowledging that Concord's not doing what they're supposed to be doing and supervising all of this. So you want to go after them because you're frustrated about the Sky, but you don't put together a special committee to go and find the Sky in breach of contract. Instead, you get everybody to vote to go ahead and give the Sky $7 million towards construction costs. So now your all-in number is $32 million out of the $43 million. You admit that the construction manager says they might be able to save and shave off $2 or $3 million once they actually start building the thing. So the final cost you're hoping is $40 million. So now if it drops down to $40 million, the Sky are on the hook for $8 million. They couldn't even pay the $5.9 million. So I doubt they have the $8 million.
Jeez Louise.
How this man still has a job is beyond me. How this man is not in prison is still beyond me. How this entire city has been running around handing out all this money to people without the proper checks and balances is beyond me. So yeah, you're right. Probably shouldn't tell people that.
So the whole thing about Chicago and Chicago City and the mayor and things that I ain't gonna get into that. I'm sure this is an expert who knows more and stuff like that because she just gave us a rundown 4.5 minutes of all the details and stuff. But in terms of the Chicago Sky, so y'all been making promises for a facility. Y'all ain't been making the payments for y'all. Look now, come on, because what was folks saying when a particular academy in Delaware just got auctioned off because folks weren't making their payments? What were folks saying about that man and that entire situation and operation? What were they saying about him just a few weeks ago and things of that sort? Hold on. Let me get it right. What were people saying? So it's like the Chicago Sky looked like they was on the same type of timing where they couldn't pay for a lot of their stuff. They couldn't pay for this stuff that they made the whole thing for. So they said, Angel, what about the practice facility? It's on the way. They say spring 2026. She said, all right, I believe it when I see it. She said, I'm trying to bring players over here, but it's difficult to bring players over here when the Phoenix Mercury got a practice facility. The Seattle Storm got a practice facility. The Atlanta Dream are revamping and going to their own, building their own practice facility and moving into a bigger arena. How are we going to? Golden State has world-class, all the things, bells and whistles. How are we supposed to compete with that? She asked good questions. She asked good questions, man. They just say, what do you say? Is it irreparable at this point? It's kind of starting to look that way. I'm not going to lie to you. It's starting to look irreparable because it's like when you get beyond feelings and everything like that, a strained relationship with feelings, that's one thing, right? Okay, you want to sit me down? You want to try to embarrass me? You want to try to do this in front of me? Okay, all right, that's one thing. It's a whole nother thing when your business ain't right. When I call you out for being a poorly ran business, we can run business a bit better. I love y'all, but we could do our business a little bit better around here and things of that sort. And instead of saying, okay, bet, let's do business better. You just continue doing bad business and showing the world that you're bad at business. Okay, now we got a problem. Micah Parsons didn't leave the Dallas Cowboys because he hated playing for the Dallas Cowboys. Who hates playing for the Dallas Cowboys? It's the biggest franchise in the NFL, like in terms of popularity, branding, and getting money off the field and endorsements and just brand recognition. The Dallas Cowboys, bro. Michael Parsons left the Dallas Cowboys because the Dallas Cowboys couldn't get his money right. It came down to business. This is a business at the end of the day. So even though it might seem uncomfortable with this and that, why did James Harden stand up there in China and say, Daryl Morey is a liar and he is a liar and he needs to give me my money? Like, you think James Harden wanted to go to 5 teams in the span of 4 years after he spent 10 years in Houston and cemented his legacy? No. James Harden wanted to probably spend the rest of his career in Houston. But what did it come down to? Business. When people were doing their business correctly, you got to move forward. And I think so beyond the personal relationship and personal feelings and everything like that are already strained with injuries in the organization, now it's looking bad on a business standpoint. And you get a combination of that, it's looking like it's headed towards a divorce. So that's not no break. That's not any breaking news or anything. Mad people been saying that on the internet for the past week, but it doesn't look good for the future of Angel Reese in the Chicago Sky. That's pretty sad because of what Angel has meant to the Chicago community and how she's kind of embraced that community and stuff like. Even from her first day where she said, "I'm headed to the Rack," and it was like, "Oh no, Angel, don't call it the Rack. We're a beautiful city. Don't even like broadcast or like promote that stuff." And to the time like where she was giving out her boxes of cereal and she was signing stuff and Angel Reese, like it was a big deal around the city. And she shows up to other events and baseball games and etc. You know, she was a good just liaison and kind of just face of the franchise for that Chicago Sky franchise. So it hurts, especially with her and Camilla getting drafted the same, you know what I'm saying, the same year. And they were like the Twin Towers just walking around town and partying and stuff like that. Camilla looks like she's found her community over there in Chicago as well. So for it to end so soon after only 2 seasons, because this is something that happens in sports all the time, but usually after like 5 seasons, 6 seasons, 7 seasons, for this to happen after season number 2, it's sad, but hey, business is business. Okay, we're gonna move on to the next thing, man. Next thing, Deion Sanders, there was a lot of just weird kind of stuff that made me turn my head like, what? Like, what's going on? In his recent press conference with Colorado. So I just like linked a bunch of them and I'm gonna just react to them. This is my first time like looking at the full stuff. This is from Awful announcing Deion Sanders refuses to confirm ESPN report, quote unquote. We don't care about being right anymore. Let's look to see what this is. Deion Sanders refuses to confirm ESPN report. We don't care to be right anymore. I would love to have the integrity we once had with the media. I would love that. This is from Sean Newman. It's crazy, you know what I'm saying, that he's saying this about these folks in Colorado. I remember a time where it's like, oh, this dude in Jackson is true. All right, man. I was trolling, bro. I was rage baiting. Don't clip that holla, please don't. All right. Deion Sanders' Cold War with the national media has lived to see another day. On Tuesday, the Chicago coach was asked during his weekly press conference about Pete Thamel's reporting. ESPN senior college football insider reported that Colorado is expected to start Ryan Staub at Houston on Friday. Thamel noted that Staub was spotted working with the first team in practice on Monday, and the staff has made it clear that Staub will start this week. Sanders refused to confirm the report. He then claimed he hadn't made a decision on who his starting quarterback is for Friday night. Why does Colorado always play on like Thursday night, Friday night? It's just sign up. Those vying to be under center in the Big 12 showdown include the quarterback he dubbed as Martin Luther Staub, Liberty transfer Caden Salter, and 5-star freshman Julian Lewis. You know, in today's media, we don't care about being right anymore, Sanders said. We just want to be first, and there's no subjection to you when you're wrong. Nobody says nothing. You just go with it. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's where we are in media. Nobody gives a darn about being correct and being right. Everybody just wants to be right. Huh? Nobody cares about being right. Everybody just wants to be right. That don't make no sense to me. I would love to have the integrity we once had in the media. I would love that. So he didn't answer it. Sanders did acknowledge Staub has been taking majority of the first team reps in practice this week. Staub came off the bench against Delaware and threw for 157 yards and 2 touchdowns after Salter struggled and Lewis couldn't get much going. When Sanders put Staub in late in the first half, he led them to a 75-yard touchdown drive in 36 seconds, and later a 71-yard touchdown pass in the third quarter. Quote unquote, I saw what I've been seeing in practice the last few years, Sanders said after the game. This is who he is, who he's always been. And this is also who Sanders also. Oh my goodness. Jeez Louise, man. Awful announcing, don't hold back, no punches. This is also who Sanders is. For better or for worse, he's been prickly with local and national reporters from the get-go in Boulder. He barred a columnist from asking questions. He started a feud with CBS and On3. He told The Athletic that they're on their bull junk heavy Big 12 media days. He's also called out what he sees as double standards in the transfer portal coverage. Man, shouts out to Karen Phillips, bro. Caron Phillips, bro. Shouts out to him, man. Karen Phillips. Because Karen Phillips, he's been writing this for years, bro. When he was covering all this stuff that was happening at Jackson State. He said Deion Sanders is out of control with the media. He's a power freak and he's a power control freak and this and that. Blah, blah, blah. He goes to Colorado. He says, it's on a bigger stage now. He's in a power so-and-so conference, Power 5, Power 4 conference. And he's going to be dealing with a lot of the problems that he complained about, quote unquote, with the media in a much smaller market of Jackson, Mississippi, now in the Big 12. And now you see him dealing with it. He sees a double standard in the media, which rushes the report news without ensuring accuracy. Sanders believes reporters prioritize being first over being correct, then face no consequences when they're wrong. Colorado is 1-1 heading into Friday's game at Houston. Whether it's Staub under center or not, we'll find out soon enough. Jeez Louise, bro. Jeez Louise, man. This was written by who? Sam Newman. Shout out to Sam Newman for writing this story. Okay. And the next thing in all of this stuff is...
Coach, are you concerned about what not having a solidified quarterback would do to the team?
A solidified quarterback? Who has one of those?
This is crazy, bro. Who has one of those is crazy. I'm going to change the speed because it's a professional camera and stuff like that for the sake of copyright. I'm going to go to a little faster.
I got time today. Who has one of those? What does that look like? What does a solidified quarterback look like?
Who? Hey, swag, baby.
Like, what does that look like? I want to know. We play quarterbacks every week. What does a solidified quarterback look like? Yeah, that's what I thought too. Oh, thank you, Lord. Thank you for that setup. Excuse me, sir.
Number one start, a clear head, number one start.
I don't. That could mean something up with your roster if it's clear. Then that clear guy goes down. What's up with the second one? I like what we are, man. I like what we have. I like what we're playing with. I like these dice I'm shaking. I do. I really do.
This man is. You see how he flipped that, bro? You see how he just flipped that, and then someone was like, "Who has one of those stable quarterbacks?" And they posted Dylan Raiola stats. That's funny though. That is funny. I ain't gonna lie how he did that. Colorado is expected to start Ryan Staub over Juju Lewis and senior transfer Caden Salter. And here was the picture. Started, he had the wrist up. He said, Prime starting a white quarterback for the first time in his career and immediately nicknaming him Michael Luther Staub. It's such a good pick. You're a funny dude, bro. I ain't gonna lie. You can't deny that. He's a funny dude. He's a charismatic guy, everything like that. Like Coach Prime is a charismatic character, bro. And that's why he is who he is with the popularity that he has. But like, geez Louise, bro. Tighten up, dog. You ain't gonna do it because you are who you are, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? You can't teach an old dog new tricks, but geez Louise, bro. You're going to do the same thing to every year. It's like when Angel Reese, I'm going to go back to this. Let's do that, huh? We'll do that. How about that, bro? It's like when Angel Reese got up there and when they said, what you say in that story? And she said, what Angel Reese responded? Oh, yeah, that was just the media misconstruing it. You know, the context of the words, it was the messenger's fault, not me. Man, take accountability for what you say in the media, bro. Stop making the media. Oh, man, McCarran started this morning. It's the media's fault. And who started that? Who really got it going to the next level? The man y'all claim to hate. Mr. Number 45 and 47. He's fake news. We're going to build the bomb. We're going to build the wall. Fake news. Y'all claim y'all hate him so much and y'all following his exact blueprint of how he deals with things. You get some heat on you. You get some pressure on you. What do you do, Draymond Green? You blame the media. You get some heat on you. You get some pressure on you. What do you do, Des? You blame the media. The media didn't yell at a 16-year-old in a hallway at 4 a.m. on a live stream. The media didn't allegedly, supposedly in GTA, threaten a 16-year-old on stream in a hallway of a mansion at 4 a.m. on a live stream. The media ain't doing this, y'all. It's y'all doing this. Y'all have to give the media something to even say, to even use. That story from Julia Poe and the Chicago Tribune, and then the follow-ups from the Chicago Sun-Times, all those were mostly quotes. They leaned heavily on the quotes to say, instead of me saying what they said, let me give you exactly what they said, word for word, verbatim. And verbatim, what did Angel Reese say with the quotes? Shout out to Courtney Vandersloot. She can definitely add a lot to this team, but she is 36. She is coming off an ACL tear. That's what you said, word for word, bar for bar. So why is it the media's fault that the media wrote what you said to them? Come on, man. The word of the day is accountability. The word of the year is accountability in 2025. Coach gonna sit up there it play the boy, stop, first team reps, all practice. The coach is saying this. The ESPN senior college football reporter ain't just saying something to say something, bro. That's too big of a position just to be talking out of his behind. So it's like, oh, the media just trying to do their job and go home, bro. The media ain't bothering nobody. The media ain't trying to, my life is so terrible, so I'm going to make everybody else's terrible. The media trying to do their job, live out their passion of talking about sports and watching sports for a living, for a paycheck to pay their bills, and go home, bro. That's all the media trying to do, bro. Y'all painting the media to be, ooh, hee. And I ain't gonna lie, yeah. There are some evil media members and there are evil media outlets. But a lot of times we know those people because what? They're super extreme. They get up under the, like Alex Jones, all them jokers, Outkick, Barstool, all them jokers be tweaking. We know they tweaking. We know the particular outlets they be tweaking. But for the most part, most media folks just trying to do their job and go home, bro. They don't care about bothering nobody. Because the media, you're not supposed to be the celebrity. You're supposed to play the background and play it up for the subject that you're interviewing. And that's the celebrity in the case here. In every case. So you ain't trying to make a name for yourself and become this famous journalist because journalists ain't supposed to be famous from the get-go. Our job is just to give the world the story. That's it. So for y'all to be, no, they going to build their name and this and that. No, bro. Journalists trying to go home. At the end of the day, journalists is trying to go home, dude. Write their story before they deadline with the editor on their behind most of the time, they supervisor on their behind most of the time, and move on to the next thing. This is Chicago. We're going back to Chicago. Chicago versus Trump, part 2.
Man, Trump talking about something. Chicago about to find out why it's called the Department of what? Nigga, you about to find out why it's called direct. The fuck, goofy ass nigga? We ain't scared of
Shut your ass up. You niggas killed me with that dumb ass shit. I got a 100-round drum switch. Puss ass nigga slap the fuck out you. Nobody else. You put your ass in handcuffs, just slap the fuck out your ass again. You really think your 100-round clip gonna do something, huh? You really think that motherfucker dumbass switch gonna do something? You won't even know there's a motherfucking threat, nigga. You niggas are stupid. All you did your whole life was steal, so you don't know where the fuck the real guns come from. Stupid motherfuckers.
All right, bro. All you did was steal your whole life is crazy. And I'm sorry, we had mad people just drop after all this profuse cussing. I apologize for the excessive language. Jeez Louise.
You got to be a stupid motherfucker to go and threaten the goddamn military. What the fuck is wrong with you? Your face is on here. Nigga, you won't be one of the people that do a motherfucking thing. Dumbass nigga. Boy.
Yeah. All right. That was funny at the beginning. And then it got kind of like, all right, like, what are we doing here? Where are we going with this, bro? Where are we going with this for real? Okay, Cardi B.
Hear ye. Due to the Imaginary Players music videos, Atlantic Records have done some deduction to my album's budget. So the new check has arrived and been received. And the new budget
no. Shout out Cardi B, bro. Dang, I wish I could. Dang. All right. I'm gonna go back to the other view. I rock with Cardi B. I ain't gonna hold you. Cardi don't do stuff that I always like, you know what I'm saying, just rock with and stuff like that, cosign. You know what I mean? Because if I had to take a side in the Civil War, like, I'll lean a little more Nicki, like Nicki did come first. She is the queen and a lot of people. However, Cardi B is funny, bro. And she's smart. I ain't gonna lie to you. Shout out Cardi B, bro.
$50. So due to the fact that the budget is $50 for my album, I have to go on the road and sell these CDs and vinyls myself. So I'm here to tell you that I might be going to your city next week, starting Friday. So let's see which are the luckiest, most famous, most wonderful, most grateful cities that have been chosen. Are you guys ready? So these are the dates and these are the cities that are chosen for me to come and do the meet and greet. In these locations, you're going to be able
Look at the handwriting, bro.
to buy a CD and a vinyl, whatever you want. I don't care. Just buy it. The first city is Friday, September 19th, Long Island, New York. Saturday, September 20th, Eastern Pennsylvania. Yes, Pennsylvania. We're going up to there. Sunday, September 21st, New York. We double back in the city. Like, New York love each other. You just got to see me 2 times. Monday, September 22nd, Atlanta, Georgia.
W Atlanta.
Tuesday, September 23rd, Houston, Texas. Get your fucking boots on. Yeah, that's right. And Thursday, September 25th, Long Beach, California. Yes, it's gonna be the best meet and greet ever. Make sure you gotta purchase a CD or a vinyl. Make sure you meet me there. And on top of that, what is on top of that? I'm just going through a very hard time. Like, I just don't know what I'm gonna do right now. Like, they want to put me back in. Like, they want to put me back in the Bronx. Like I'm losing all my job and stuff like that. I'm just very devastated. And if you could just buy a CD and a vinyl or a box set, it would just be I'll be grateful.
Chance the Rapper is doing this too. Like, but Nat is dramatic, but he's been like literally street team, bro, where they're handing out CDs and stuff like that. He handed I Show Speed a CD in Chicago. It was Taylor Bennett, his brother. He handed him off a CD, a signed CD, and a package, and was like, "Yo, this is from Chance the Rapper, new CD. It's called Starline. Check it out." He's like, "Oh, okay, for real." Like, he's like an up and coming rapper. Man, Chance the Rapper got Grammys. I love to see, y'all know I'm a fan. I'm a huge fan of seeing people give a care about what they do, bro. Regardless how big they get, I love seeing people give a care. She also had this one where she was
$9.99. These are $15 right here, though. $20.
I gotta, because it's the one love. I gotta. There she go, man. Hold on.
Exclusive Cardi B, new album we selling right now. Look at it right.
My label say I gotta get out in these streets and sell this album.
Or this is $9.99.
Cardi B, bro. The reason why she's Cardi B is because of her charisma, dog. Her personality, bro. Her personality, her delivery. She's a star, dog. It's just undeniable. She's just a star, whether you like her or not. Who is this with her? Oh, Tokyo Styles. Oh, that's Nicki's sister, ain't it? Ain't that Nicki? Oh, I don't know. Let me mind grown women's business. Women's business, y'all do y'all do. You know what I'm saying? Draymond went on Kyle's stream and had some takes. I can react to that later. And then a white woman explains her black fatigue. This one I was hesitant on reacting to just because, like, I know what this comes with. A lot of times this can come with higher engagement, but with that comes like, it's like rage bait. So it's like a lot of people in the comments, regardless of what I say. If I say I agree with this completely, or if I say I disagree with this, white people gonna be in them comments, boy, calling me all types of monkey and ABC. But I did think it was interesting to at least like look at. And I do think it is important to every now and again look at something that wouldn't typically be in your wheelhouse of media that you consume. I say that with a grain of salt because I know what this is gonna come with, but I'll just play it anyway. The JR Wisdom, a white woman details her black fatigue experience. And JR speaking in the second half of the video.
Young black men of the community, listen, this is not an attack. This is not me being racist. I am just simply stating what I noticed happened today in my community.
Of course, as the Duchess of the Blacks. The Duchess of the Blacks has something to tell the Blacks, okay? So listen, Blacks, I'm your leader. I'm your queen. I'm the Duchess of the Blacks, and this is my...
So I was out eating breakfast with my daughters, and a young gentleman came in for an interview, and he was wearing a do-rag, all black, long sleeves. We live in Florida, and his pants were sagging. You are not being... Nobody is being prejudiced against you. Nobody is being racist against you. You're not getting hired because of your color. You're not getting hired because of your presentation and how you carry yourself. And that is not your fault by any means, because you should have had parents that went over this with you and taught you better. So it's not your fault. But please listen. When you go for an interview, make sure you don't have anything on your head. And this goes for white, anybody. Don't wear a hat. Don't wear a do-rag.
But you started off the video by saying, black men, I got a message for you. That's how you started out the video. And now you want to backtrack and say, no, this is for everybody, for white, black, Latino. You know, when people be like, I don't see color, purple, yellow, green, orange.
Don't wear a bonnet on your head. Make sure you have like a nice colored t-shirt at most. I know everybody doesn't have like the means to buy certain things, but you can definitely go to any thrift store and get a decent outfit for a good interview outfit and use the same one for everything. That's what I did when I was a kid, like young, 18. So this is not an attack on you. I'm just simply stating I personally would not hire somebody if they presented themselves in the way that I just saw this young
black person, the way that I saw this Negro present himself. Say it out loud. Use your words. Be big and bold, like how you started off the video. You're giving basic, general interview tips to young professionals. However, I'm going to skip. This is 122, so I'm going to go back to 122. You started off the video by saying,
young black men of the community.
Young black men. You're giving general job interview tips to the youth. But you started off the entire video by saying young black men of the community. I'm skipping back to 122.
This young gentleman present himself. So if you're going for an interview, make sure you look right. Make sure you got, there's nothing on your head. Like I said, a nice pair of either jeans with no holes, no rips in them. Make sure your pants.
I'm going to say this. I had a coworker go out of town over the past weekend to go to a wedding in Virginia, right? They went to the wedding in Virginia and they said it was casual. The dress code was, kind of casual and things of that sort. So my coworker goes up there in some khakis, a button-down t-shirt, and they had a blazer, right? So they pull up and they see how everybody else was dressed. So they was like, okay, it's a little more casual than what I thought the casual was going to be. So they took off the blazer and left it in the car. They go out, right, to the wedding. People is casual than a mug. The actual bride is in a traditional white bridal dress, everything like that, long train and stuff like that. The groom comes out, this joker in some a white shirt and some khaki cargo shorts, bro. At his own wedding, he out there in some khaki cargo shorts. Needless to say, this is a white man. I say all this to say, like, this isn't specific to the black community. This isn't specific to any color. It's a lot of people, especially in this generation, the more casual we become in societal standards and stuff like that. I'm a casual guy myself. I show up to the office. When I show up to the office, it's khakis and a polo shirt, untucked polo shirt. That's it. And I wear my hoodie when it gets cold. I ain't got on no blazer when it's 90 degrees outside and I'm taking it off when I go outside and keeping it. I ain't doing all that. I keep it pretty casual to the point where Deion Sanders had a problem with it. Going back to Deion. Anyway.
Pants are up over your butt, a belt if you need one, or make sure your pants don't ride below your butt, and a good collared shirt, and you're golden. And then just speak politely and you'll get the job. But showing up the way I saw this young gentleman show up it's not it. It's not it.
Now, some of you may say that what she's saying, she didn't directly say anything in reference to that, but this is something that people, not just white folks, but black folks are tired of seeing the foolishness. And obviously this kid, maybe his friend gotten a job there in the past looking like that. Who knows? But there's obviously no man in this kid's life, no mentor, whatever have you. And maybe the mother to even let him go. I mean, who knows what his station is in life, where he's currently could be homeless. Who knows? But there's certain etiquette when you go to get a job. And you can say, well, JR, well, he probably didn't know. You know you shouldn't be sagging your pants, for one. I see dudes, I live in Atlanta now, guys, and I just see dudes, and even back in Charleston, where I'm from.
Based off what? You know you're not supposed to be sagging your pants in a job interview based off what? How does everybody know that? How did you know that, JR? I'll tell you how you knew that. An older black man, more than likely, told you, pull your pants up, boy. You ain't gonna get no, pull your pants up. Stand up shirt, bunny, collar shirt. Get this. Solid black bottoms, you could get you anywhere. Casual, professional, this or that. You wear these colors. What Steve Harvey say? You get these 6 colors, you can make 67 different suit combinations. You had an older black person, an older black man probably tell you, pull your pants up, present yourself like this, dress like this, speak like this, hello to this. If you didn't have that, how can you get mad at the person that didn't have that? Instead of sitting up on the internet on your high horse and making a video and the black community could do this better, than, we tired of seeing this and that. How about you go out in the community? There's plenty of mentorship programs. It's probably one in your area, especially in Atlanta. You got the 100 Black Men. You got all these other. You can go with one of the rappers' foundations. The whole hip hop community lives in Atlanta, and all the rappers that's making some type of money, anything over $1 million, got a foundation. Usher got a foundation. Join one of the rappers or the artists or the entertainers foundation and their little pursuits to help the community out and become a mentor. Instead of sitting up in the comfort of your home in your luxury apartment in front of your podcast mic, which I'm standing in front of as well too right now, and just talking about we are tired of seeing this and this is ridiculous and get off my lawn, young man. Instead of doing that for an AdSense check, because that's what you're doing it for at the end of the day, how about you go outside and sign up for a mentorship program and become a mentor and tell one of these kids who has never had the exposure to know to pull up your pants, wear a button-down shirt with a tie, look straight up, sit up, eye contact during an interview, be prepared for an interview, be prepared with questions to ask the employer at the end of the interview. Always say please and thank you. Use your manners. You do this. Open the door for me. If you never had that, how you gonna get mad at you don't get mad at a baby, right? For throwing some. I had this conversation with another artist. I don't want to spoil their future music and stuff like that, but I had a conversation with an artist and they said that was my hot take on music and stuff like that. How can you be mad at a baby for getting a football and just throwing it to the ground? And you say, no, son, no, daughter, you supposed to throw the football back to me like this. They don't know what to do with a football. They never seen football. They don't understand the game of football. You give them the ball, they're going to do like this. They're going to play it all types of wrong ways because they never been taught the proper way to handle a football. They never been taught the proper way to eat by themselves. They've never been taught the proper way to hold a fork. You mad at a kid doing this because you ain't teach them how to use it. And now you're like, I know you know by now. Ain't nobody taught this person how to use a spoon and what a spoon is and this and that. And they ain't never seen anybody in their immediate circle and in their immediate view of life use a spoon. How are they supposed to know how to use a spoon? So instead of you being like, look at that child over there ain't using the spoon, how about you go over there to the child and say, hey, young buck, I see you. You're enjoying your meal and everything like that. I hate to interrupt you. However, get you a spoon. Here's a spoon. Teach the children. Instead of just scolding them for a check on social media, teach the child. And in terms of this, you say, well, Rashad, she was trying to teach the child. And you got mad about that. I didn't get mad about it because of her message. I got mad about it because she made it a general point to all of the youth for what to do in job interviews and how to do things in job interviews. If you can't afford a suit, if you can't afford dress clothes, go to the thrift store and get you one good outfit and just wear it to all the interviews and that church and that services, all the things that you need, right? When you're young. I had no problem with that message. What I had a problem with is she started it off with
Young black men of the community, listen.
That's what I had a problem with, because you're singling out one particular demographic of a huge message. Your message was obviously to all of the youth. It was to the young white kids. It was to the young Asian kids. It was to the young Hispanic kids that come in and apply for the job, whatever company or the company that you're the manager at, that you're hiring people, right? That's what it is. So it's like, don't speak to the general population, but started off with
young black men of the
that's what I had an issue with. And to Buddy, instead of just sitting up here and talking down on the black kids and this and that, like Dick Gregory, they just sag your pants. They just sag their pants. How about you go out there and instead of just you sagging your pants, you look stupid, you look this and that. Come at them with compassion. Come at them with the understanding that nobody has probably taught them the correct way, the quote unquote, whatever the correct societal acceptable way is, and tell them, hey, instead of doing this, give them an alternative. How about you do this and da 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 da. I remember my dad, he got on me when I was 10 because I used to, if I had to take out the trash in the morning, I put my shoes on with my pajamas on, roll the little trash can or whatever to the curb, come back in the crib. My dad said, no, we ain't doing that. He said, every time you leave the house, you need to have on some clothes. Every time you leave the house. Then he got to the point where he was like, if you're staying in the house, if you're here for the summer, because I used to be at my dad's house in the summers and stuff like that. By 12 p.m., you need to be dressed. Everybody in the house need to be dressed by 12 p.m. Because you never know when, hey, can you ride with me to the store? Can you ride with me to this? Can you do this? Can you do that? Can you do that? You need to be dressed. You need to be ready, everything like that, ready to go. My dad taught me that. My parents taught me certain ways of like, this is how you need to present yourself. This is how you need to speak. This, yes, sir. No, sir. Yes, please. No, thank you. My parents taught me that. You had to be taught. So instead of just scolding kids for not knowing these societal expectations, how about you go out there and teach them? We got big brother, big sister. We got at my old high school, we have a Marietta mentorship program for the youth and everything like that. Like there's so many mentorship programs out there. And if you don't have one in your community, here's another suggestion. Start one. Groundbreaking concept, I know. Shouts out to Dr. T. Smith over there in Lafayette, Alabama, who has his youth program. He's got Kiwi Shelbert, Kiwi Tolliver. Shout out to Kiwi. Anyways, Kiwi came back from Lafayette High School as an alumni. He graduated from Norfolk State. He's doing his thing in technology, everything like that. He's always wanted to design and build video games and things of that sort. He went through the program, went to college, graduated, came back to his hometown, and now he's a part of the board of youth alongside Dr. T. Smith over there in Lafayette, Alabama. That's how you do it, bro. Be the change you want to see. Instead of just sitting down and complaining about it, go outside and be the change that you want to see. There's plenty of opportunities to get, you know what I'm saying? That's it. There's plenty of opportunities to just do your thing, man. That's it.
Where I'm from, you just see dudes just walking, and I'm pretty sure they walking probably miles, maybe a few blocks, but you're walking and you got your cheeks, and I'm not even gonna say pause. You got your cheeks out, showing off and it's highly suspect that
young black men of the community.
And once again, JR, this is AI, edited AI, everything like that. Stop it. Put the AI down, bro. If you're too lazy, if you ain't got the time to edit your own video, don't do it. How about that? How about the way that you got on those young men for never hearing the right way to train themselves? How about I speak to you like that? You're lazy. You're fake intellectual to think that you're advancing by using AI, everything like that, and you like talent because you can't do it yourself and you can't hire someone to do it for you, and you're broke because if you had the money to hire someone to do it, you just hire someone else to do it, but you can't afford that. You rather be frugal with it and just throw it the lazy way by throwing it through an AI machine. How about all of that? The same way you talked about those young men who never heard the right way and the alternatives and everything like that. So here are some, I'm gonna take my own advice. I'm gonna give you some alternative solutions as a longtime content creator and member of this space and things of that nature, right? Here's the thing, right? Instead of using AI for your captions, you can use closed caption. Facebook, all these platforms is going to give you the option to use closed caption. You could just use closed caption. If you don't want to type in the words yourself, you could just use closed caption, man. Or you can get a designer to transcribe it for you. This is an evergreen message. It's not timely. It ain't something like, oh, that take too long. I need to get this out. No, you don't. It's an evergreen message. It's not a trending topic. It's not a timely message. This can go up 6 months ago. This can go up 6 months later. This can go up in 2 years from now. People going to be talking about the same thing. People been talking about black boys sagging my whole life, bro. People been complaining about ghetto boys my whole life. People been complaining about ratchet black folks my whole life. This ain't a conversation that's going to go away, brother. You could hire a graphic designer who's going to get those things for you, everything like that. They're going to make the edits for you. They're going to get the B-roll for you. You can pay for your little stock footage. You can pay for everything like this. You can hire actors of your own and have a whole wheelhouse of JR Wisdom actors and actresses and just film a bunch of stock content. Hire those people. Hire the cameraman. Put money in other people's pockets instead of hoarding everything to yourself by using lazy AI and free stock. Instead of doing that, you could do that. But no, you choose to be lazy. And to be honest, Mr. JR Wisdom, I speak for everyone when I say this. White, black, we're all tired of seeing it. See how I flipped that on you? My name is Rashad Milligan. This is the road to 10K subs. Please follow and subscribe, everything like that, because I'm live each and every single day. I'll be live again tonight because I have been live each and every single day. Until next time, have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, have a good afternoon. Have a good night. Have a good day. If nobody else told you today, I care for you. Until next time, peace.
Rashad, why you didn't hit me up?
Hey, Rashad.
What's up, Rashad?
Thank you, Rashad.
Brother, I love you, brother.
What's up, Rashad? What it do, boy?
Hey, Rashad.